Parashat Shemot actually contains one of my favorite comments by one of my favorite commentators in the entire Chumash. The Kli Yakar, known as Shlomo Ephraim Milonchitz, a 16th century commentator from Prague, he makes an amazing statement at the end of the parasha. Moshe Rabbeinu has just traveled to Mitzrayim to try to free the Jewish people for the first time, and has utterly failed. Not only has he not gotten Paro to let go Bnei Israel, he's only made things worse. Paro has made the lives of the Jews much worse by forcing him to work much harder and to actually make the material with which they will build. And Moshe is very, very upset. And he turns towards Hashem and he says, Lama hareota la'ama zeh, lama zeh shilachtani. Why have you made things worse for these people? Why did you send me at all? This doesn't make any sense. And Hashem's response, last psukim of the parasha, are enigmatic. Hashem says, Ata tir'eh. Now you're going to see Asher aseh leFaro. Now you're going to see what I'm going to do to Paro. Strange on a few levels. Number one, it doesn't answer Moshe's question. Moshe said, why did you send me? Everything's just gotten worse. And Hashem says, now you're going to see what I'm going to do to Paro? What's going on over here? So the Kli Yakar, first of all, he points out that Moshe's objection actually doesn't make any sense. Because after all, Hashem has already told Moshe that he's not going to succeed in getting Paro to let Bnei Israel leave right away. Because Hashem is going to prevent Paro from letting them go. Hashem is going to be makshed leif Paro, lachbid oto. He's going to make sure that Paro doesn't let them go. So what does Moshe expect? The Kli Yakar answers, yeah, Moshe didn't expect Paro to let them go, but he also didn't expect him to make things worse. Why did things have to get worse? But Hashem's response is, now you're going to see. What does that mean? So Kli Yakar says, in life in general, whenever there's a force going in one direction and that force is about to meet its end due to an opposing force, the first one puts in one last burst of energy before it gives in. In the words of the Kli Yakar in the vernacular, actually, it's always darkest before dawn. The darkest moment of the night is right before the rays of the sun coming up over the horizon eradicate the darkness completely. It says similarly, and we saw this in last week's parasha in Vayechi, when a person is about to pass away, when an older person is about to pass away and they've been lying on their bed for a long time, very often on the last day, moments before they pass away, they're able to get a surge of strength. They sit up, like Yaakov sat up to give blessings to his sons. We see this all over the place. Hashem is telling Moshe Rabbeinu, you have to understand, Paro is this incredible force, a superpower in the world. He's been in control for so long. And now, Paro sees something is coming in the other direction. Something is coming to end him. And Paro has to put in one last burst of strength. That's what this was. I sent you, Moshe, to kind of squeeze out of Paro that last ounce of strength, so that now, ata tireh, now you'll see that the Geulah is going to begin in earnest. Now, that's what the Kli Yakar says over here, and I always found it such a fascinating comment. And when I first saw it, I actually connected it to a different story. Back in Sefer Bereshit, when Yaakov is fighting with the Saro Shel Esav, with the man in the middle of the night, the Torah describes something very strange. It says that Yaakov is fighting with the man, Vayar ki lo yachol lo. His opponent sees that he cannot defeat Yaakov. Vayiga b'kaf yerecho. And so he pokes out his leg. He injures, he wounds Yaakov. It's very strange. I don't understand. If they're in a stalemate, then how is this Saro Shel Esav able to basically wound Yaakov? And even stranger, why doesn't Yaakov look at this and say, oh my gosh, he's been hustling me the whole time. I guess I don't stand a chance. And the answer is the Kli Yakar. The answer is that Yaakov knows that the reason why the Saro Shel Esav is able to Vayiga b'kaf yerecho is because that was his last burst of strength. He knows that the sun is now coming up, the night is over, and his time is done. And so he puts in one last burst of strength to succeed, and Yaakov knows this secret. And that's what makes him hang on, because he knows that if he just hangs on for just a little bit longer, he's won. The same is true with the Yetzer Hara. In general, sometimes we fight and fight and fight against the Yetzer Hara, v'lashon hara, for tava, all kinds of different yetzer hara that attack us, and we work on ourselves and we work on ourselves, and we go through a yamim naraim, and we go through a tshuva process, and we work and work and work, only to find that after all that work, we're still tempted, and that temptation comes back stronger than ever sometimes. And we think to ourselves, "Oh my gosh, I guess I haven't made any progress at all. Look at it. If it's able to attack me so strongly, and I'm so tempted, then maybe I haven't changed." But Yaakov and Hashem in this story, in the Kli Yakar, are teaching us, no, that's exactly the moment that you need to hang on for dear life. Because if you just hang on just a little bit longer, this is the last burst that the Yetzer Hara has on you. And if you can hang on and withstand that last burst, you may find that you're finally over the hill. Wishing you all a Shavua Tov.